Okay, you guys, so yesterday we talked about similes, and today we're going to be talking about our next topic, which is alliteration. So I'm going to pass out these handouts, and on these handouts you have a few things that we're going to be working on today. But if this was a real lesson, you would have your own piece of paper for each of these different things we're going to be doing. So on each of your papers you have this nice little graphic organizer we've been using thus far, and I just want you to pair up and talk in your groups about alliterations. What do we know about alliterations? You don't need to fill out anything else, just in this section, what you know, okay? So just go ahead and partner up. If you don't want to be in a group, that's fine. You can just work by yourself.
So we can all work together.
Okay.
But I think I heard from my older sister that something about the same word. Or like repeating. That's what I think I know.
I don't really know.
Like, honestly, the only thing I thought of was alligator at first, because alliteration sounds like alligator. Wait, the A-L-L. So I was thinking, so I'm just going to write that down. But I think you could write down that it's repeating.
Okay.
If you can't write it, then you can just go ahead and talk about it with your partners, and your partners can help you write it on your paper.
Do you guys have any other ideas of what it might be? This one's kind of harder. Because, like, similes I'd heard of before, and it sounded like similar.
I don't know.
Okay, did you guys come up with a few ideas? Okay, we're going to come back together now. Haley, go ahead.
So we wrote down repeating.
Repeating. Okay, that is actually really good.
Okay,
because that has something to do with it.
Okay. We weren't sure, but my older sister talked about it, and I wasn't quite sure what it meant. And I don't know what part is repeating. Like, if it's the repeating word or, like, repeating idea. I'm not quite sure. Okay.
Well, that's a really good place to start because that's going to segue into what it is. Do we have any other ideas? No, just repeating?
We thought of alligator.
Okay, we'll put alligator too.
All right. Sorry if I embarrassed you guys.
Okay, so great. So, to start off, I wanted to, now that you guys have kind of talked about alliteration, I'm going to read you a poem that uses alliteration, and I want you have a copy of this poem on your paper, and I want you to pay attention to the words and to the beginning of the words and the letters that are used. Every time you see a Z used, I want you to circle it, okay? So this poem is by Ken Nesbitt, and it is called The Aliens Have Landed at Our School. Zzz, I see zebras from Zimbabwe zipping all around the zoo. I see Zeus up in the zodiac. A zillion zithers, too. There are zephyrs blowing zeppelins that are zooming near and far. There are zealots counting zeros in a zone near Zanzibar. There are Zulus wearing zoot suits, eating zwieback and zucchini, plus a zombie and a zipper on his zini bikini. Yes, I always have the zaniest, most zonked out dreams like these, because every time I go to sleep, I try to catch some Z's.
That's clever.
Okay, so what did we notice about where the Z's are in the sentences? Okay, go ahead.
It sounded like Dr. Seuss.
It did sound kind of like Dr. Seuss. Good. So you know that there's a rhyming element to it. Okay, go ahead, Haley.
So there are, like you told us, to look for all the Z's. All the Z's start at the beginning of the word.
They do. That is a very good thing to notice. Okay, and we'll make a note of that because actually I want you to write that down in the definition box because that is part of the definition. So we can just write beginning of word.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So I forgot an N there. Okay, so great. What else did you guys notice about the Z's and the words that started with Z?
I counted them and there's like 30 Z's.
That is a lot of Z's.
Yeah.
Something I want you to look at is the Z words are all either next to each other or very close to each other in the sentence, and that is an important part. So alliteration is actually, this is the nice definition, but we'll make our own. It's the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of an adjacent or closely connected word. Okay? Yes.
That makes a lot of sense because it was a full sentence and there was a Z at the beginning and Z at the end. You wouldn't notice that
Yeah.
there were, like, they have to be next to each other in order to have the effect.
To be alliteration. Yep, that's exactly right. Okay, so I want you guys to now, what we're going to do is we're going to work on writing our own alliteration poem. So what I want you to do is think of a number. Someone, oh, not a number, a letter. Someone tell me a letter.
K.
A K. Okie doke. So we're going to do a K. This might be a little difficult.
We could pick a different one.
No, it's fine. We could do K. So think of all the words you can, maybe not K.
Sorry.
Let's do, how about M?
That's a good one.
Okay.
M?
Yes.
Like Melanie.
Okay, so Melanie is a word. Think of everything you can that starts with the letter M.
Do you want us to shout them out loud?
Yeah, go ahead. shout them out.
McDonald's.
Moss.
Moms.
McDonald's.
Milk.
Wait, wait for her to catch up.
Okay.
Madagascar.
Movies.
Movies.
Milkshake.
Ooh. Sounds good.
That's like my. That's like milk.
I'm sorry.
Mildew.
Ew.
Moldy.
Ew, guys.
You know what I think of when I think of M? I always think of monkey.
That's a better one.
That's a better one.
Moping.
Monkey. That's a good word. Moping. That's actually
Maze.
a participle. Maze. Okay. Awesome. We can say munchies. Okay, that looks like a pretty good list. So now what I want you to do is start trying to combine these words into a sentence. Like take two words and make a sentence out of them. Okay? And we'll start by, I'll show you an example. So my example will be, let's see.
Are we ready in our example part?
Yeah, put it on the example right there. So my example will be, my majestic monkey loves bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Okay. So that's our first example. And what we notice here is we have M, M, M. So that is an example of alliteration. And I want you to underline the M's in your example section. So my majestic monkey loves bananas. Okay, awesome.
Do you want us to draw a picture as well?
Yep, draw a picture of that monkey loving his bananas.
I'm so bad at drawing.
Me too. Look how bad it is.
You want to see mine? Don't even know what that is.
Three.
Okay, and what I want us to do before we move on is think of a mnemonic device for alliterations. Yeah, go ahead.
So I thought alligator the alliteration. Or the alligator likes alliterations. Is that mine? Does that not work? I'm sorry, let's try another one.
What do you mean by mnemonic?
Like a way to remember what alliteration is. So you could say the alliteration alligator is awfully close. And so that could just be alliteration alligator because it's two A's and that's how you can remember it.
I like that one because all I could think of was alligator.
Perfect. Okay, so I want you to take these M words and I want you now to make your own examples. I want you to do at least two sentences using two of these M words or another M word that you can think of in those sentences. If you want, you can work in pairs. If not, you can just work by yourself.
Do you want to work there or do you want to work by yourself?
I want to work by myself.
Okay. Emily, do you want to work together? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to just come around and see how things are going. Need any help, Melanie? Okay, Miss Melanie.
What's a job?
I don't like that one. Oh, good.
Okay, I used 5 out of 6 words with an M.
Whoa.
Marie met Mark, a manly mechanic.
Oh, I like this.
Thank you.
Good work, Haley.
My mom was moving into McDonald's so she could munch on milkshakes.
So she could munch on milkshakes.
That's my client. Melanie was munching a milkshake at McDonald's.
I didn't even copy yours or promise.
Okay, I'll give you a few more minutes to do that.
Okay, fine. What's a sad word that starts with M?
Moping.
Thank you.
Oh, we got that
I
one.
put that up there. That was my idea.
Okay, awesome. So, does anyone have one they want to share or they're super proud of?
Oh, shit, mine. Let's hear one from Melanie.
Hey, that's not your decision.
Okay.
Who would like to share one?
I can share one.
Okay, thank you, Melanie.
You may not like it, but Miss Melanie the monkey from Madagascar loves moldy milkshakes.
You named a monkey after me?
I did.
It's pretty good though, I think.
What's your second one there?
I started writing, my mother makes magnificent milkshakes.
Okay, so did you underline those M's?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Forgot to.
Okay. Awesome. Look at this alliteration. I'm so proud. My baby's all growing up and stuff. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to read you guys my alliteration poem that I wrote, and it is called The Munching Monkey. My majestic monkey loves bananas. He munches madly on them all day. I told him he must make a change, but munching monkeys ignore what I say. So forever on, this manic monkey will munch every day, including Monday. So, yeah. So that's an example of an alliteration poem. What I want you guys to do now is you're going to think of a letter all on your own. And if you need some help, I can come around and help you. And so what I want you to do is pick a letter, A, B, C, whatever you want. And then you have a little graphic organizer web on your page.
Mm-hmm.
And in the circle, the center circle, I want you to write your letter. And then in all the bubbles coming out, I want you to write, so say my letter was K. So I want you to write words that start with K, like cuckoo or karate.
You're right, K was really hard.
Yeah.
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo. And then once you go through and you have filled out at least those bubbles with words, I'm going to come around and make sure you have got your alliterations right so far. Yes, go ahead.
So your poem rhymed. Does ours have to rhyme?
It doesn't have to rhyme because I'm just focusing on alliteration for this poem.
Okay.
And for this poem, I'm actually going to want you to put it in your poetry book that you're going to be working with, that you've been working with in this unit so far. So, yeah. So we know you got alliteration down. You used all those. The Miss Melanie munches moldy milkshakes. See, Marie met Mark, a manly mechanic. I should have had you share yours, Haley.
But
That's
Mark
really
made
great.
Marie feel mopey because Mark was a model. Marie made for McDonald's, and Mark made for his model industry. So
That is
went their
very
separate
good.
ways.
You got all your ends close together. Okay, let's see, Sam. My mom was what is?
Moving
into McDonald's
so she could munch on milkshakes.
Okay, you got the ends. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so your S, you're doing S, Sam. Haley's doing H, and Melanie is doing B. Okay, go ahead and continue filling those out. And does anyone have any questions or need any help? Once you have those filled out, what I want you to do is just start taking those two words that start with your center letter and putting them into a sentence. And I want you to do at least 4 or 5 sentences. And that's going to be your poem. So what you want to do is not just have random S words or random B words. You want them to have kind of a story, like my poem kind of had a story about the monkey. Okay? And then once you're done, we can go ahead and share some of those.
Do you want to hear my answer?
Yeah.
Harry was a hipster hippopotamus. He had hipster hairstyle and hipster habits. That's what I have to say.
Haley, that sounds great. That's perfect. Make sure in your alliteration poem that you underline the example of alliteration.
Okay. If they're like normal words, like he had, can those also count?
Yep. Okay. Those still count.